Welcome to the B-Sides and Beers podcast.
Welcome to B-Sides and Beers, episode 56. Tonight we're talking to Mark Reed from Batch 44 Brewing out of Sechelt, BC. How are we doing?
Doing great, guys. This is excellent.
Oh, yeah. Glad to have you on the show, man.
Where are you guys all from? I know one's on the island, one's in the interior.
I'm in Courtney.
Courtney.
On the island. Yep.
Nice.
And
I'm in Salmon Arm.
Excellent. Oh, nice. Excellent. I just had a friend move up there.
It's nice. It's awesome. When it's not smoky, it's really nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The winter's great then. So it's always.
Totally.
Yeah.
What's it like
Nice.
in Sechelt? We're saying that right?
Yeah, Sechelt. Yeah, you got it right.
What's Yeah, we were like throwing around different pronunciations and
It's not an easy one. Trust me. A lot of
Pronunciation
people Sechelt.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was
Sechelt,
thinking maybe session.
yeah, I wasn't sure. But yeah, like what's it? I've never been like even up to like Sunshine Coast there. What's it like?
It's really small town. So if you guys are like Vernon, Courtney, same idea. It's a growing small town. I've only lived here for what are we now? 4.5, 5 years now. My wife and family and I moved here back in 2017. We actually were originally from Langley.
Yep.
So
Okay.
So my wife grew up here. It was the whole I want to move back, be close to family. So it worked out well. It's a great spot. I love it. Chill life. Never knew I would miss the city, but I don't. So.
Yeah, it's
great.
same thing for me, man. I feel the same way. Like I thought I'd miss the city, and I never really have once.
No.
And it's funny how maybe there's times when I do on a couple things, but like for the most part, I'm cool just not being right in the thick of it all.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny. It's a quick ferry ride back for where we are. Anyways, it's only 40 minutes. So you're right back in Vancouver anyway. So it's not too bad. We don't have a ton of there's no big stores up here. We don't have any Walmarts or stuff like that. Our biggest store is a Canadian Tire. Everything else is your mom and pop stores, small, owned by, all local. So it's pretty cool that way. But you do miss some of those bigger stores because you can save some money that way as well because you pay a little bit more. As you guys know, if you're in the interior, Salmon Arm, everything's a little more expensive when the delivery trucks have to go further.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then there's that thing where sometimes you're at the mercy of the ferries.
Yes.
At least in my experience, sometimes the water is a bit too choppy and you can't get to the mainland and you just have to reschedule, right?
So it was like yesterday. I think our ferries were out for 6 hours or 7 hours yesterday.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
so,
Yeah.
Spring break just starts and no one can come to the coast. So it was good in a way, but
that's
bad
a
in a way.
blessing in disguise.
I booked exactly. I booked a band for last night and I go in at about 8:30, 9 o'clock and there was 4 people in the place. I'm like, oh, this is not good. But it is what it is. It's the coast. We just deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then your brewery kind of fits right into that kind of vibe then, hey, with the kind of the mom and pop kind of idea.
Yeah. So Batch 44 has been around since it started the build in around 2019 and it opened February of 2020. So a month before the old COVID got it.
Yep.
And it's 2 brothers that opened up the business, George and Emmanuel Kobus. The building where we're at, they've actually owned that building, or that building's been in their family since the 1980s. So it's a pretty cool history story to it. Batch 44 itself's got some neat history. So the 44 is actually the year their dad was born.
Oh, cool.
He passed away a while ago, but it's a way they could pay homage in naming it Batch 44. So, yeah.
That's a great little tribute.
Yeah, it's kind of neat there. So, but when I first moved to the coast, I actually was with a different brewery. I started here on that boop, 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 and joined these guys. I'm kidding. I could say it was the 101. The 101 Brew House and Distillery in Gibson's is where I sort of started when I came out here. And then joined these guys about a year ago now. So it's neat. Actually, if Courtney, our brewer used to work at Ace Brewing.
No way.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so I don't know how long he was there for. I think a year or two. His name is Dave McNulty.
Yeah.
So he was, I think, a year or two at Ace Brewing. So that's kind of a neat little thing as well.
Oh yeah, Ace is definitely one of my favorites. They make a mean cream ale. I love
I haven't
it.
been there yet.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember when they. I mean, I'm kind of relatively new. I moved here in 2018, and it's a really nice sort of like beach area where you can like walk your dog. And they were setting up the brewery there, and like I didn't know who they were, what was going on, but I was just like, this is going to be great. This is awesome. You see all the stainless steel going up, and then all of a sudden,
Nice.
there they were. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
What do you have on tap right now? What are you guys pouring?
So right now, we our 4 main that we have all the time is our Medusa Lager, which actually we just took 3rd place in Canada in 2021 for, which is kind of a neat thing, only being open a year and already getting
Congrats.
Yeah, so we're pretty happy with that. Then we have our Frosty Scottish Ale. We also have our Lonely Giant IPA, and we have the Half Moon Pale Ale. So basically, all our beers are sort of named after our area of Sechelt. Like the Medusa is named after a street that we're on. Half Moon Bay is another area just up in Sechelt, right on the water. Lonely Giant is this tree. So we have this lake that's up a little bit higher, sort of between Sechelt and Madeira Park. It's called Trout Lake, and there's just these massive old redwoods. And there's just one that stands all alone where I guess they did some clearing and left this big giant. So it's kind of neat. It's got all the beers have a little bit of a story to it, but
Very cool.
Dave, the brewer, is the one who comes up with the names and sort of does all little write-ups for them. So, but and then we do some other ones. Right now we also have a dark mild on tap and an alt beer. So it's sort of trying to get rid of the wintry beers that we've got and move forward with some. We've got an ESB that we have coming out pretty soon here. Sorry, messages. My work is messaging me, hey, the lights aren't working for the stage. I'm like, excellent. Let me figure this out right now.
I'll be right there.
Yeah. Like one of you guys can figure out the light switch.
Yep.
So, but I think since they've been open, Dave's brewed about 12 or 13 different brews there. I know he's done a couple sours. He did a raspberry ale. We also have a stout on tap, which is fantastic. It's one of my favorite stouts.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so moving along, being a small little brewery, we're not huge by any means, but definitely trying to come up with some new things, especially in the packaging side of things. Having 4 beers in a package is great, but stores are always looking for new things, especially trying to get shelving space. So, yeah.
Definitely. Well, what do you have on tap? Or sorry, not on tap, in cans?
Just the 4 main ones, just the IPA, the Pale Ale, the Lager, and the Scottish Ale. So,
okay,
great. Yeah, but I'm trying to move them forward. We got the ESB going into a can on our next canning run, and then we're gonna move right into this sort of summer ales, and we're gonna do a hef and probably a raspberry sour right away. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. ESB is great. I love them.
Yeah.
It's super nice that you guys are giving that one a shot because, not a lot of people know what an ESB is, or maybe too afraid of the name.
Well, and that's just it, right? I think it's not one of the more popular styles. I love ESBs. I think it is a fantastic beer. And I was kind of doing this thing, going on the local stores and just sort of seeing what was on the shelves. Everyone's got the lagers. There's about 100 IPAs. There's tons of Pilsners. And I think I found one ESB. And we have some really, a lot of our sort of, the cold beer wine stores up here have great craft beer selections from all over. Especially, they carry everyone on the coast, which is great. But but no ESBs. So I told the brewer, I'm like, he wanted to make a Pilsner. I'm like, dude, there's like 4 Pilsners out here already. Every brewery that's out here is making a Pilsner. I said, but I actually wanted a Saison, because I love Saisons as well. And I said, even a dark Saison if you want to sort of do a late winter beer. But he's like, what about an ESB? And I'm like, perfect. Good.
Sold. Yeah,
So,
that's a nice one.
Yeah, it had me at home. But I'm going to pour my beer since I haven't even done that yet.
Beauty.
Go for it.
What are you drinking?
I will be doing the Driftwood. I think it's the Black Porter. Blackstone Porter.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Love that one. It's so good.
Yeah. My one of the owners of mine, he's like, he's not taking any of our beer. I'm like, dude, that's all I drink is our beer. And it was just my birthday last week. And so we had a bunch of people here, and I went to my beer fridge, and I'm cleaned out. I'm like, I didn't even bring beer home. I'm like, Jesus, I found like 3 beer in a hidden spot in the cupboard in the fridge. I'm like, perfect. I guess I'm drinking this one.
Yeah.
Go.
Cheers, boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Go into the light switch, light fixtures, trying to find the 6-packs hidden up there, and
Yeah. You always have those ones that you don't want someone to find. So.
exactly. What else are we drinking, boys? What Dave? What do you got going on there? Let's snap her around.
I'm just finishing off a Squirrel Chaser Yellow Dog Hazy Pale
Oh,
Ale.
nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, and then I've got an Arcus. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's driftwood. I love this. This is fantastic Pilsner. It's like got this mineral-y, kind of vitamin-y aftertaste to it. It's the only way I can explain it, but I love it.
You said it's out of driftwood?
And then, yeah, that's driftwood.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've got a Zunga Blonde Ale from Townside Brewing. And we'll see if I make it to that one tonight. But,
See how she goes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'll pass the baton on to T. What you got?
Yeah, I've got out of, what is this? Lighthouse Brewing out of Victoria. It is a Numbskull Double IPA, 9.1%.
Wowza, 9.1. Holy, that's got to be
nice.
one of the highest ones we've had on this show.
That's a great can too. I like that
It's
logo. That's awesome.
Killer can.
Yeah, and you're
looks
like
scary.
all red, kind of. As you did that, it was just you turn. Look at you. Whoa,
Yeah.
freaky.
So that's
Yeah.
her.
What a great label.
Yeah.
It's a one and
it.
done right there.
Enjoying it, man. Nah. Come on
Keep going.
Keep going.
Do you guys find when you buy beer, do you ever just buy it because of the label? You'd be
We've
like,
tried all of the above.
Yeah,
Man. It's crazy. And you're at the point where you have to try, going through what we've already gone through in the liquor store is just difficult trying to find something unique and interesting. And yeah, you're either, it's always a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I'm going to buy the cool can now, and I'm not going to buy the basic can next time, or
yeah, that's cool. It's good to know. I said the biggest thing. I said, when I first started into craft beer, for me, it was, I was never a big IPA guy at the start. It was always more the like, pale ales or
Yep.
like working my way up to an IPA.
Yeah.
But I just remember buying, I'm not going to remember the name of it now, but it was the same thing. It was a double IPA. I didn't see the double IPA. Just bought it because I liked the label. I got this thing home, just chugged her back, and I was like, oh my God. It's just like a total rush to the head.
yeah.
Did I forget to eat supper?
Oh my God. I'm like, I had to lay down on the couch. But no, it's a great beer. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm rocking the Unleashed. We were talking last week about the Unleashed brewing. So
Yes.
I'm rocking one of these mega, like, I don't even know what size can this is, man, but it's like the big
Jeez.
monster can.
It's almost like two tall boys in
It's
one
got some
can.
girth to
Yeah.
it.
It's the Boxer Pout Milk Stout, 4.7%.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's
So good.
super good. Mike, did you have this one?
I did, yeah. So I bought 4 of them, but 2. What you had, I had. So
good. This was excellent.
yeah. So there was
Like,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
unreal.
still going
Nice.
on it because it's a long pour. Like, there's lots in here.
It's like one of those two fist cans.
It's just
Yeah.
I don't even know what size it is, but it's big. Yep. So that's what I got.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, let's talk. We've been talking beer and stuff. Let's talk foos. We wanted to talk foos, and
Yeah.
we haven't really talked music much in the last little bit, so we're kind of all itching to talk a little bit of Foo Fighters. So you had mentioned Foo Fighters,
Nice.
Mark. So what? Why foos?
You know what? It's funny. I was never really a huge Nirvana fan. I liked them, but they were never one of my favorite bands at that time. And just always followed Dave Grohl. Was always kind of a fan of Dave Grohl.
Yep.
And then, as soon as that Foo Fighters became a band, I was just hooked. I liked them when they first came out back in was it?
295.
Yeah, I think it was their first album that sort of broke. And then from then on, it was just every album they had, I just found myself enjoying every song. And just aside, just a bunch of great guys. I think I've watched every documentary that Dave Grohl's done. The one thing I haven't done is see them live yet, which is going to change because they'll be in Vancouver in October.
Beauty.
So I finally get to see
Nice.
this band live, which is pretty sweet.
Beauty.
And I never knew this. You guys ever heard of the DGs? See?
No.
So I'm not the
No.
only one.
No.
This
Right on.
would be the Foo Fighters cover band of every Bee Gees song ever done.
That's kick ass.
It is amazing. They do it all in rock style. Dave Grohl nails the voice of
Yeah.
singing the.
Really?
Yeah. Gibb, I think it's Barry Gibb was the main singer. He nails
Yeah.
it. Oh, it's amazing. I'm going to tell you right now, Google the DGs, have a listen later on. You guys will be blown away. Like, it's
That's
fantastic.
awesome.
And like a full
Yeah,
album
so
of,
it's just-
of covers.
Well, I wouldn't say full album, but there's probably 13 or 14 songs on the album.
That's
So,
lots.
yeah. It's pretty impressive. I mean, I like the Bee Gees, but I didn't even know they had that many songs. But
They got some hits.
yeah, so yeah, but it's just a band that I always just sort of back in those 90s just really drawn to. I don't know, it was just the music, enjoyed it, always good beats, the lyrics are fantastic, great writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And even just the charisma of the band. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, all the guys in the band are characters. They're fun to watch. They're outgoing. You know, they stand out, which is, you know, they're definitely a star rock band.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Mark, I got a tip for you. You've probably watched it, but if you haven't, I love, like, you know, cracking a beer and watching something on YouTube from like a great band, and it's called Wasting Light, live from 606.
Okay.
It's like a Foo Fighters jam space, and they just run through.
Write that one
what
down.
album is it? I forget.
Wasting
Is
Light,
there an
I think,
album
is the
called
album,
Wasting
yeah.
Light?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's just them in a jam space, and it's
Oh, I'm
awesome.
gonna check that out.
Yeah.
That's great. Cool. But yeah, so that's sort of my thing with the Foo Fighters. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love tons of music, but yeah, it's the one band that's always just stuck out for me. We're a huge LP fan here, so we have our reg up probably going almost every night, throwing the records on, and I think I have about 5 or 6 Foo Fighter ones. So I've got my 10-year-old kid loves it. He throws on the Foo Fighters and the Beastie Boys whenever he can. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
raising them right then.
Did
That's
you?
good.
Oh, totally. I think one of the last things that I got into with Foo Fighters was the what's the studio one that he did?
Oh, you're talking the acoustic one?
No,
Oh.
well there's the acoustic one,
Yeah.
and then there's the one where he does all the parts himself, where he, you know,
Oh,
he's in the one video.
Play, isn't it?
You
I think it's Play, yeah.
Yes.
But the other one is Sound City that I'm
Oh,
thinking
Sound
of.
City. Yeah.
okay?
The documentary.
Yeah, Sound
Yeah,
City
yeah.
is great. But yeah,
You know what's crazy about?
I was just gonna
So
say,
go ahead.
just going
Go
on
ahead.
that concert thing. They're playing Penticton, and they sold out. That was the fastest a concert sold out. Yeah, like
Really?
in this area for them.
Yeah.
So they're coming back, and lots of people are going. Like it's kind of back to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dane. Go ahead.
Nice. I was just gonna say, I saw an interview with Dave Grohl just recently, and he was talking about hearing damage, and like, he doesn't wear like in-ear monitors. He just walks on stage. He's like, I've had the same sound tech for 30 years, same dude that was with us with Nirvana, and I can hear everything perfectly. So I don't like to put shit in my ears. I like to hear the crowd. I like to hear my band, and I'm like, oh my God, man. Like,
That's pretty cool.
because I've heard before he's got like a little bit of like tinnitus or whatever that is. But yeah, he's just like a true, like Dave Grohl to me is just like a true rock star.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't get more rock star than Dave Grohl. Like whether it's him drumming for Queens of the Stone Age, remember that?
Yeah.
That was I was just watching some of that the other day, and like he's a monster on the kit. Like
So good.
You forget, you forget how like prolific he was on that fucking instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's stuff he did
Like
with
picks
Nine
up a
Inch Nails.
guitar and just like I don't know if he can sing. Can he sing? I don't know, but he does.
And he
it.
wails it out.
Yeah.
He wails it
Yeah.
out. It's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And he's just a stand-up guy too. I mean, obviously I don't know him personally, but just all the things, the interviews I've seen, and he's just that guy. When he filled in on drums for
Them Crooked Vultures.
No,
it
he
was,
was part of that, but he was in with Ghost for a little bit. He was in with
Really, he was in Ghost.
he did a couple gigs with them anyway.
Oh,
You're
wow.
masked up, right? So you just throw a mask on, you go on stage, and you do it.
Them
So-
Crooked Vultures was great though. That's a great.
Unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more to that, but if you Mark, have you heard that before? Okay,
No, I
it's-
haven't.
Yeah,
I'll have
it's
to check
Dave
them out.
Grohl on drums. It's Josh Homme from
Josh
Queens of the
Homme.
Stone Age and
Okay.
John Paul Jones
Yeah.
from Led Zeppelin.
Zeppelin.
It
Jeez.
just is.
Okay, I definitely gotta check that out.
It's great. It's great. But yeah, he's kind of, again, we've kind of talked about these elder statesmen, and it's kind of like what, like Kurt Cobain could have never done that. You know what I mean? Like it could have never done what Dave Grohl is doing, and it just feels like some of those guys are kind of made to burn out rather than fade away. Unfortunately, just it doesn't translate. We're not going to see Jim Morrison at age 80.
Still giving her on the stage.
About, Mojo Rising,
Chasing the snake.
crawling king snakes, right? Like it just doesn't jive anymore. But it feels like Dave Grohl is able to do that, and he pretty much knows everybody in the music business, and everybody knows him. So I think he can call in anybody that he wants to play with or for, or he can do whatever he wants, and it's
When you can call in Paul McCartney and you can call in,
but he's earned it too, right? Like he's earned that status,
totally.
right? He's toured forever. He's been in some gigantic bands. He's played with some huge artists, and he's forged his name in the history of rock and roll. You can't really deny it.
No.
But he also seems like the
That
dude
too.
down the block,
Yeah.
totally.
right?
Yeah.
Like with the Trans Am, and that'll help you if you get your truck stuck in the snow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Go down to the Rainbow any night, and he might be there.
Yeah,
or
and his mom.
just hanging out.
It's like you just gotta have that personal connection to him, where you just, and you've known him forever, right? It feels like he's always kind of been a part of your life. That as long as you've been listening to music, he's been there.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's cool.
So
Nice. And I don't know if you guys have heard Rick Astley's cover. Have you heard that one yet? Rick Astley does a cover of Everlong.
no.
So yeah.
wait, I'm
Yeah.
checking this out.
It's pretty sweet. I was pretty impressed to listen to it too. I was like, there's no way this is Rick Astley. And sure enough, I saw the video. I'm like, that's Rick Astley.
Oh, is it like him on stage, like doing it, or is it like in a studio, or what is it?
Studio.
In a studio, just him and his guitar. It almost looks like he's doing what we're doing right now, and just cranks up the guitar and starts singing Everlong. I was like,
All right. Oh,
Not bad.
As soon as this is done, I'm checking
Amazing.
that out.
who knew that deep voice could get so high? I was like, that's pretty
man.
good.
I got that on vinyl. Speaking of vinyl.
Oh,
Rick
nice.
Astley on vinyl, man.
Yeah.
So, Mark, were you a Nirvana fan, or did you just jump straight into Foo Fighters?
I did like Nirvana, but they weren't sort of that one band that I was always listening to. I mean, so I think I was more Pearl Jam and then
Gotcha.
more Soundgarden at that time. And
Right.
but I obviously I liked a few of their songs. And then as soon as it sort of broke up, and then they did their thing, and I just sort of directed myself towards whatever Dave Grohl was going to do. So
Right.
as soon as he sort of figured things out, I just went definitely straight to the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since when can a drummer become a frontman and a singer and a guitar player? What's with that?
I know, right? Especially to go from one amazing band to another,
Totally.
right? It's just
Yep.
and create that. I mean, they're going down. I mean, they just won, didn't they? Just they got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I think, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
And
pretty
hey,
cool.
Mike, dreams do come true.
Well,
It can happen to you. Even if you
Yup.
are a drummer, it can happen to you. You never know.
well, you got yourself a telly, so you're almost
right,
there.
right.
Yeah, I still see some drums in the
That's the
background.
principal
there,
instrument. Yes, yes.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Okay, let's jump back to batch 44 for a bit, Mark, if that's okay. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny. We're talking to another brewery that almost opened at the exact same time as you. Like they were August 19th of 2019, and so
Okay.
for you, I mean, how did you weather that storm? Like, how did you guys come out on the other side and still, can wear the shirt and be here?
I think it just really came down to how is it going to make the business sort of successful during these weird times, and it really. We have a really big kitchen, so lucky for us is we actually have quite a big tap room. So we're about 80 seats with about a 20-seat patio. So we just sort of, when I first came and joined them, they were just surviving off to-go food, and they were just sort of in-house packaging beer. They didn't have labels on. They didn't even have a canning machine. They had one little steamer. That was it. So they were trying to pump out 200 cans of beer in the morning and sell them by the afternoon. And And then when I jumped on, I basically got the brew house where I wanted it to be as fast as I could. Actually, when I first started with them too, was when they came up with the new mandates where patio only. So my first day was introduced to all the staff when I took over the GM role, and then I laid half of them off.
Oh man!
Oh my God!
It was the worst. Like, it wasn't bad enough I had to lay all the staff off at the 101, and then I had to do this a year later again, just because I'm like, at that time they only had about 18 seats on the patio, so I'm like, I don't need anyone really. So we got through that. I managed to keep all the staff. I didn't lose anybody, which was great, especially all the times where people were just dropping off. And I just started getting events in there because as long as you kept people in the seats, you could have events going on. So I got a rock and roll bingo night going right away. I got a trivia night going right away. I try doing some live music, but as soon as you get music going, people want to get up out of their seats. It's just natural. So we kind of killed that for a little bit, but the rock and roll bingo and the trivia nights were sort of getting us through. They were packing it. So it was great because people still wanted to get out, which was nice. And then I was able to turn myself into the packaging, and on the sort of commercial side of things, I got labels made. I got all the SKUs done, and I got mile 37 up there as fast as I could. And I think we're on our 4th or 5th canning run now. So that's sort of where we sort of dived into, and that's kind of where I'm trying to stay now. I still GM the whole front of the house and everything, but my focus is really trying to get more packaging beer done, more kegs in restaurants and stuff like that to really help the business survive. So, but yeah. So
that's awesome. It's like a badge of honor. Right?
Yeah, like you're selling, you're getting her done too, Mark. Like that's awesome.
We're pretty happy. The owners are happy where we are and the direction that we've gone over the last year. I mean, going through COVID with my first year there, we've only been open 2 years at that time anyways, but they hit numbers during summer that they never thought they'd ever hit. So it made me feel good. And the two owners are fantastic. It's almost like a three brothers sort of situation. I've known Emmanuel and George since I was at the 101, and that's how I met them. And it just came to a point where I was done with the 101 and things weren't going in the direction that I wanted to. We became like a giant sanitizer company instead of a beer company. So I was just done cold calling people to sell sanitizer, and I'm like, I'd rather sell beer. So it just came to a point where these guys were looking for a GM, and I was able to sort of just do a nice switch over, and things have been going golden ever since. And they're great guys. We're moving forward. They're looking at ownership for me, so that's a big thing. Where being at my age now, I can't just keep being a GM till I'm 75 years old. So the ownership's great, and I see big things for this company in the future here, as long as we keep going down the same path. So it's kind of nice.
Good for you. Awesome.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. With today being, mandates are, I guess, have changed. Is there like a sense of like a tsunami about to like hit the shores of Batch 44?
Yeah. I can see it. We've been pretty steady still with all the mandates that have been happening. But because we're such a small town, and you guys maybe know the same ideas, is you have people that are backing the people that aren't vaccinated, even if they are vaccinated, and they're angry at the businesses because of this whole thing, even though it's not the business's fault.
Right.
Right.
But I know that people are just dying to get out. And I've seen over this course week, the numbers are starting to go up, which is great. And you just see more and more people out on the streets than we did before. I mean, they're still masked, and if that's what they got to do, great. Do what you got to do to make you feel comfortable. But just seeing more people on the streets and wandering through Sechelt is great, because we're kind of a sleepy town out here. There's us, and I have events 5 days a week. We're open 7 days a week, but we actually only have our kitchen open 5 days, just because that's the big struggle out here, is getting people to work in the kitchen. Yeah. So there's us. There's a pub out here. It's called the Lighthouse Pub. It's a nice little pub on the water, great patio, but it's definitely a sleepier pub. More of the older folks that go there in the daytime and play Keno. And then there's just like about 3 restaurants. There's no real other draw to get people out here. Like if you go to the Gibsons, you've got 3 breweries right there. You got Persephone, you got Tapworks, and you have the 101. So they get that little community where people are constantly just circling through all those, breweries and the events and having fun. So drawing people all the way into Sechelt can be a little bit of a struggle. And we're a bit of an older town too, right? We still got the 70 and 80-year-olds who don't want Sechelt to change or grow or become a younger sort of area for them. So it's a struggle. And Sechelt, the community itself is great, but it's tough. So you're constantly trying to figure out that role of what's going to build Sechelt to be a bigger, better place. And I just said, let's just keep doing events So we have live music 3 nights a week. I've got like I said, the rock and roll bingo, the trivia night. I started doing an open mic night on Sundays. So yeah, just trying to turn it into more of that like venue where people are just going to come out because there's always something happening. So hopefully it works. I'm spending a lot of their money. So
I'm sure it will. I mean, because we talk about this too a lot. Like, just can't wait to see a show, and all the things that we held near and dear.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice to see that start up again. So.
It is, yeah. Like we have one band out here that I love. It's actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of Bricker Cidery. It's just up the hill from us. And one of the owners there, Nick, fantastic guy, and they're great guys up there. But he's got a band that they just started about 2 years ago. Actually, just during COVID, they started a band up. It's called The Hook. And man,
I love it.
Yeah, and they're fantastic. So I had them in there 2 weeks ago. And I'm pretty glad the health inspector didn't walk by because there were no ass in the seats. There were people up just giving her no masks. I'm like, get your mask on, please. Just, I don't care. But
I don't want to get shut down.
People are just like, no, we need this. So we had about 100 people in there just crammed and just dancing their ass off. So it was fantastic to see because we definitely need that. So, but it is good to see these people enjoying themselves again and starting to see a bit of normal coming back a little bit. So.
That's funny. That's like a throwback to the speakeasy days of the 1930s, I guess.
Yeah. It almost felt like that. Thank God the windows all steamed up so you couldn't really see in, so it's perfect.
Awesome.
It's kind of like, it sounds like there was a bit of a niche there that in Sechelt for you guys, hey? Like opening up, in 2019, like that's, it doesn't sound like there's much else there and hasn't, that's doing what you're doing.
No, we're the only one. I know that the Lighthouse Pub does try to do some music here or there, but it's like once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks, they might have a band in there or a DJ, but I'm just trying to pump it out every single week. We've just keep it going and see what works and what doesn't work. So far things seem to be working. So it's good. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be like a big summer, for everybody, but like, for you guys, especially like it's going to be, like we're talking about getting back to all this. I think it's just they're going to be coming in droves and other like tourists as well, right? Like that, they're all coming back too.
Yeah, it opens things up. I mean, last year, if we think about it, we only saw local people, Vancouver, maybe Chilliwack's coming. It was all just sort of, I'd still call it local because we weren't seeing the Americans coming up. We weren't seeing really anyone traveling far from Canada. So I think this will be a different year where things just sort of get back to normal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we start seeing the outside people coming in and spending some good money. So
yeah, that's always good, right? Like we always bitch about it here, in Salmon Arm, and even in Okanagan too. Like we were like, every time we see people from out of town, you're like, but that it's what makes January happen in your town when nobody's there and nobody wants to eat at the local place and that.
Oh yeah, and that's funny. From June till mid-October, we don't see the locals. Yeah. All you see is tourists. Like we go from a town of being 10,000 to like 30.
Wow.
So it's the locals hate it. They really do. But if it wasn't for the tourists,
it'd be dead.
It would be dead. It'd be that small town that's just not growing, not moving.
I just want a parking pass, man. That's all I want. I just want a local parking pass. I live here. I get access to the beach or whatever, right? Like that's it. That's what I want. Call me old.
So I was listening to one of I was listening to one of your podcasts. I think it was, I'm trying to remember the number. I think it was 31 or 32. Mm-hmm. And you guys were talking about one of you was trying to get to Crannog Ales.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did that happen?
No, I have not gone to Crannog Ales to the actual place yet. But I will be going there this summer. Most definitely is on my list. Yes.
I thought it was pretty. I was listening to that one going, oh man, I set up two times I set up to go there because of course leaving here, you got to set up the appointment to get in and go get your pig growler or whatever they call it there again. Yeah, and my sister lived in Revelstoke at this time. So 2 times we were going up to visit them in the summer. I set these appointments up and both times major accidents on the highway.
Oh man.
No. So I had to call them and be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it there till this time. Like, we're not going to be here. And I'm like, no. Second time, same thing. I was stuck in traffic for 4 hours, and I had to call him again. I'm like, I'm not going to make it. So I was pretty jealous. I'm like, the one place because I've never had the backhand of God yet. I've never tried that. It's so
good, man. It's every time someone brings it up, it's unreal, dude.
I've heard it's so good. Yeah. And it's so hard to get on tap too. I tried when I was running an Irish bar out in Langley. I was there for about 10 and a half, 11 years. And every year I would call them, am I on the list still? Can I get in?
Yeah.
Even though I had Guinness on tap, I'm like, I don't care. I will bring this stout in and put it right beside Guinness. I don't care.
It will kill Guinness. On your tap, man. It's just once it's on there,
you never get rid of it.
No, and it's when with Cranog, it's such a cool setup. When Brian and Rebecca, they had this big punk festival. Big punk show, 2 months ago? Something like that?
Yeah, it happened this year with DOA.
Yeah, DOA. Cool. So they pushed it through and it happened. I mean, I was still, whatever, gun shy with the whole COVID thing and that. But so I didn't make it out there. But if they do it next year, I'm definitely going. It's still pushing through just to have these cool punk bands because, Cranog, they're straight punk. Like they're old school straight punk. It's awesome.
Nice. When I go there, and thank you, Mark, for reminding me, because I want to do I think it would be good if I did an on-site podcast, kind of little tour guide thing about how all this shit goes down. I gotta see it. Because it sounds like a whole operation, and I'll be drinking the backhand of God while I'm walking through the field with my rubber boots on.
That's sweet. Yeah, I've heard it's an amazing setup too, so that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. And that's good. This is the second or third rep of the backhand of God on this show.
It's funny. Yeah. As of recently too.
I'm pretty sure that beer is worldwide. My buddy in Switzerland's heard of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
I gotta text Brian and tell him that it's on this episode too. I'll tell him that it's there because that was a
people want that beer.
Yeah, well, I'm really hoping too if they do that again and I can actually get out there. I want to try their Antifa if they're still doing that one. That seems super interesting. So
no, it's anything that they do is pretty cool. Pretty cool, but that's funny. That's good, and thanks for going back to those episodes, Mark, and listening. That's
well, I wanted to listen to you guys, and so I could get myself up to speed, and
that was a good one to do.
Yeah, you guys have great episodes, man. I have some good laughs listening to you guys.
Oh,
thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good. We're having fun doing this. This has just been just a really good way for us to hang out and see each other and talk the things that we kind of love, all together. So,
I mean, when you're 40, this is band practice.
Exactly. Exactly.
You guys jam together doing this as well, or
we used to years ago. So we had a band. What was it? 99, 2000 to probably 2005, and then
cool.
Everybody kind of moved away and did their own things, and we got back. What was it? 2 years ago. Just put out a 4-song thing together. Did a bit of a recording thing. Hired a singer online and did that. And then we've been just pushing this like mad the podcast. So
nice. That's awesome.
It's been fun. Hey Mark,
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this. We appreciate it. It was good to learn about Batch 44. Talk about foos. We kind of wish you guys the best of luck, moving forward with everything. And 100%, I think it's going to be a good one for you guys. You got a really nice product and kind of a good model going forward. So
you're welcome, you guys. And if I can, I'll definitely, if you guys want to email me some addresses, I'll ship you some beers. You can try it.
Beauty, greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
right on,
so
always.
I think it was Mike. You've got my email, right? So just fire me off all 3 addresses, and I'll get you guys some beer because we probably won't be as far up the interior until probably next summer is my guess.
Right.
But I'm hoping the island I can be on there maybe by the end of summer. I'm trying to hire a rep, so I can't do it all. I can't keep going to Vancouver, hitting up every cold beer and wine store for 13 hours in one day, and then But we're trying to get out there. We'll be there eventually. So, but I'd love to send you guys some beers so you can try it and see what you think.
Hell yeah! Thank you so much, man. That'd be great.
Thank you so much, Mark. Yeah, that's awesome. Great.
All right, we want you guys to subscribe, share, and review this podcast. Keep it going, keep it strong, because we're having a great time entertaining you guys with B-Sides and Beers podcast.